Hey love bugs, it's Roslynn back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to the returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family, as always, thank you so much for the love and support. It is truly appreciated. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, drop a line. I would love a chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know more. And if you feel like the videos just gave you a good vibe or just something you really needed to hear today, go ahead and give a thumbs up and share. It'll be greatly appreciated. And sending so much love, light, calmness, elevation, whatever you're needing just to, get through your moments, your seconds, your hours, your days, your weeks, whatever. I'm sending all towards that 1,000,000 times fold. Anybody's coming in with, negative vibration, low frequency or whatever, everything is divinely protected, strongly protected, and strongly loved and massively guided. So whatever you're doing is going to go right back on you 20,000,000 times fold as well. And the video I'm doing today is called Twin Flame 101. Heyokas, life is not chess, it's checkers. They have no other option but the king and queen. You've been working hard. You deserve it. And that is true. I was like, what the heck? Sometimes I'm getting these downloads and I'll come up with a phrase. And it was like, I remember hearing that all the time and I never really understood what it meant. I said, dumb it down, got calm to me. I had to go be able to understand it. And I was like, wow, okay. You're going through different stuff where, we're all dealing with challenges in the world. You're trying to make somebody see, your point of view. People are just not understanding you. People are getting comfortable with misunderstanding you. There's a lot of different people that constantly pulling no punches. They're doing whatever they can do to distract you. People will do whatever they can, to try to block whatever blessings is coming your way. And it's just like, when we get to that point, you're allowing yourself to understand why your opponents are your opponents. Why these different things is taking place in life. Because it's like, universe wants you to be able to appreciate whatever they're sending into your life is a humongous blessing. Because whatever it is going to create a legacy. And whatever you're doing, this is like the grand prize for you being able to create a new vibration of what can no longer continue. You're breaking cycles and breaking patterns, allowing yourself to not live in the old, but you creating a new of you, all these different things that has big, huge bonus prizes. Whatever the heck they promised you, this is going to be more than what you ever expected. For what that is like, you have to understand your opponent, be able to understand different things that's going on in life. If you had everything handed to you, what would you appreciate? What would you, be grateful for? If everything was handed to us, we really ain't going to see anything that we need to take and see it as sacred. Like, these things don't come, it's a once in a lifetime thing. Don't screw it up. We go through all these different things and trying to figure out, why do we have to deal with all these massive challenges? Why do we have to keep going through all this? Why is it so elongated? Why every time, I be in a good mood, somebody was trying to put me in a bad mood? And these are the different things you got to go through. This is what life is. You have good days, you have bad days. You have to be able to take them off as the same. Just like, when we go through stuff, we have to stop saying this is negative or this is positive. It depends on what it is. So let me go ahead and retort myself. It depends on what it is. It can be something that, death. That's a word within itself that can really shake you to the core. Now, everybody grieves differently, and doing different things like that. But it's just like, when you're going through different challenges of some kind of resistance in your life, there's a lot of times we place resistance because it's like we stay focused on what we're lacking. We stay focused on what other folks is doing to try to do to us, instead of allowing ourselves to keep the eye on the prize, and it's just that it's supposed to happen that way, because when it starts unfolding, you are outsmarting your opponents. There's a lot of times where you can pretty much figure out what they're doing, because a lot of times you're trying to understand, these people don't know me. You have enemies out there that don't even, they don't have word of mouth about you, and all of a sudden they done got on the bandwagon with somebody else because they needed that person. Like, hey, I need a lot of other haters with me hating that person, so I need you along. Again, it'll be a different time. It will be just like with my situation. There'll be a lot of people, oh, she got this YouTube situation or whatever, and she's doing this and this and that, she's supposed to be this and this and that, and it's a lie. And next thing you know, you come up in here watching and they be like, oh, you make that person feel inferior. Okay, you allowing yourself to stand in your truth. Oh, this person don't like it because you know you really showing your strength within this. You're being very transparent. Oh, so it was just like you're bitter. Okay, you're jealous, or you know, you'll deal with different people. It'll start seeing the true colors of somebody else when they trying to sit up here and throw you up under the bus, and you'll understand that. You know, it'll be realizing. It's just like when I heard this, I started busting out laughing. People don't realize when your enemies are talking bad about you and always trying to give you that kind of attention, they don't really understand they're making you the issue. They're making you famous, you know, because there are a lot of people going to want to look, let me see what this person's about, let me check this out, and you end up starting to see, and there'll be a lot of different people, you know, when it comes to my situation, they're going to start seeing the person that started all this mess about me. Oh, you were the solution, they were the problem, you weren't the problem, it was them, you know. And it'll be those different things, and it'll be just like, you know, it'll be a lot of times where you sit back and you really just see how your life has been unfolding, and a lot of times it can feel like it ain't really moved nowhere. You know, you seen everybody get their blessings and you still working on yours, and you know, you trying to understand. It was just like, you know, and it's stress, you know, is a killer when it comes to you comparing your life to somebody else's. It's just like we cannot step in on chapter 20 and we on verse 1, you know, and you trying to sit up here and trying to, you know, compare that, you know, how their life is and how they got it so easy, and you know what they made broken look beautiful, and all this other stuff, you know, or people just feel like stuff was just given to you, all these different things. You know, and people don't realize you have your moments, you have your rainy days, you have your bad days. A lot of times we just don't allow people to see that because that's what they're looking for. You know, I have different people that come in my life on certain, you know, and then be all up in my mix on certain days that they know is very hard for me, and they'll just look. Let me see how hard is she gonna be upset today? Let me call her today. Let me video chat with her today. Is she gonna be depressed? Is she gonna be sad? And I mean, that's sad that you looking for somebody to be hurt when you know they're going through some stuff. I've had people in my life like that. I'm like, man, you really need to go pray. You need to go really find yourself in certain things, you know. And I've dealt with stuff like that, and I had to be able to allow myself, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. It'll be different times where I don't heal so much. I see where people are going, you know, overseas and doing little stuff like that, where you're paying practitioners to even bring me down, and they find out who I am. Oh, hell no, why I won't. I see what's going on with you. I read your energy when you came in here. You a whole hot mess, and you trying to make me a whole hot mess with you. And as soon as I say that, it's 11:11. So you going through these things, they'll take your daggone money, and they, oh, well, you know, we're going to do all this and this and that. Just sit back and watch. Because there'll be a lot of times, you know, my enemies will watch my videos, and it's like, well, let me see if, you know, whatever spell I put on her, let me see if it worked. Nope. You're doing that. You wasting too much money trying to bring me down. You need to go do that and buy you a life. Buy you something that's going to get you going somewhere in a harmonious way. And I'm not talking about stealing something from me, trying to take my life. I'm talking about something you're going to have to work and earn, just like I'm doing. You know, and have you on that. And I'll be looking at folks like, you know, come to me. Did you just try to pay another practitioner to kill me again? Did you done sit up here and get some more goddamn graveyard dirt? Lord, did you try to sit up here and steal something personal of mine and try to bring me down? You know, it'd be one of those different things. Like, you don't realize, you don't think I know? I know. And it's like these people taking your money and they ain't even doing it because they already see. They already got that warning that you clearly keep ignoring. No, because you do it and we're going to wipe your whole life. Daggone, like anything that you love, adore, anything that's, any person that's close to you, we're going to wipe you out if you touch that person one more time. Go ahead. And people want to be ignorant towards that. You playing chess, not checkers, baby. And you already know, you already see what your opponents are about, and they get real raw and dirty with you because they know, they fear something about you. They just do not want you shining. They don't want you glowing. They don't want you to do anything. You know, anything that is going to bring something good into your life, they don't like that. Anything that's going to put spotlight on your life, they don't like that. Anything that you're going to get, you know, acknowledgement for that, and representation, and just being happy about that, they're not going to like, you know. And those are the different things that take place in your life. Because when I say I see it deep. You know, it'll be different things. I'll be like, ooh, let me go hit it, but don't do that. It'll be one of those moments like, I see it, and I feel that energy, and it's like, you know, be doing them gas faces, you know, it's like the ugly face, whatever. You know, be doing some stuff, and they don't like it. They get surprised by every trap that they done set for you. They done fell in it themselves. You know, and it's just like real recognize real when fake come into the room. A lot of times you have to understand it's just people don't got to be jealous of you just because of monetary like type things. It can be how people love you, how people pay attention to, how people listen to the words that you project out, appreciate you. That's a lot of times where people hate you for, you know. And when you keeping it real, there'll be a lot of people that I used to see, they would try to take on this persona, and it would be weird to me. And it's not saying that in an arrogant, condescending way, but I've seen different people that try to take my personality. And I'm like, why are they doing that? You know, be the same haircut, you know, same way I dress, how I speak. And it was just like, how do you just come into a room and people just flock to you? It's the energy you have. It's not like I'm like, hey, I need attention, look at me. It'll be just how you carry yourself. It is like you got that intoxicating vibration where you gravitate towards a lot. And a lot of times when we go through stuff, we be thinking when we're gravitating towards a lot of toxic people that make you feel, you know, inferior, thinking that I'm toxic too. Not all the time people are coming to you because that's what you're projecting out, but they're gravitating towards you because something they need within you. You can have that heart of gold, you know, you got that strength of a lion that leads the proud land, you know, pride land and stuff like that. It'll be something that you know you don't really went through and you don't heal from, and they needed that. They needed to be able to hear that because there'll be something that you don't overcome that they still struggling with, or there are certain things that they need an answer for, and you got it. You know, you don't realize that because there's a lot of times where I start feeling good where I'm not, you know, there's a lot of toxic people that don't even come in my life no more, and that made me feel good. There's a lot of people that are starting to come into my life where they're appreciating what I do. They give me encouragement. You know, they tell me, Roz, you're doing a good job. I love what you do. You know, you mind if I share your videos, this and this and that. And, you know, I'm like, hey, yeah, thank you. You know, bringing more people towards my way and saying, you know what, she is real. You know, she's raw. You know, you say what she got to say. You know, and there'll be different times y'all seen a lot of different vibes about me, a lot of different falsehoods I share. I'll share about 50 falsehoods in one video within an hour. You know, it shows so many different sides of me. There'll be different times y'all see the goofy side of me, the irate side, want to cut a head off. It'll be one of those type of vibrations. You have seen it. You know, and there'll be different times. Like I wanted the video I was talking about, what I did about 2 weeks ago, and I mean I really got ratchet in that video, and I'm like, man, I don't even talk like that. But it was just like, nah, you were in that vulnerable point and you were very pissed off, and you really showed what you did, because it was like I was using all kind of slurs and stuff like that. And I usually don't be like that. I really don't, because that's not a side of me that I choose to project, especially on here. You know, because I'll just be like, you gotta watch how you are. You know, I can be unapologetic, you know, but I said, you know what, this is mine. You know, I can be that because this is mine. You know, I'm all about the rules that they got on YouTube, but I'm going to say what the hell I want to say. I don't heard people say worse than what I've said, especially in that video. But that was that one time I was very vulnerable and I was fed up. I was tired, you know, and just glad I didn't act out on the vibrations that I was having that day. But it really showed a point to certain people, you know, and some of them you still ain't learned yet. But it'll be different things that I really see that, you know, you had to go through, and you gonna appreciate your enemies, because like I said, your enemies are fans in denial. You know, you got to be very wary of people that watches you all the time, don't give you a like, don't give you a compliment. It's because they're studying you, which is very creepy to me. I'm like, that's some stalker shit. that's some creepy shit. Like, why are you doing that? You know, it's just like people be trying to bring me down. And don't you realize, I remember it was just factors when they used to show all the dislikes. You know that just still counts out of you anyway. You know that, right? Even though you put a dislike on me, you know, you're still giving me a view. You're still giving me a view. Even though when you're trying to say something negative, and it was just like, oh, you got a booger hanging out your nose. Is there anything else that you can say? Like, there'll be some of them hanging off your face too, you know, but it'll be just a little petty stuff that you see where somebody's just trying, they can't stand with something good about you, so they try to make you feel insignificant in some way. They want to make you feel inferior. They want to feel like you beneath them and stuff like that. But just the way they move like that showed you they feel like you better than them, so they had to bring you down a size. They had to chomp you down and stuff like that. And, you know, I've dealt with a lot of stuff like that throughout my years on this situation, even before I got on the YouTube, you know, journey. And I've learned a lot, you know, I really have learned a lot, you know, and it has been very inspiring to me to create better, you know, even when I feel like, okay, there are certain things that I had to really heal from. There are certain things that triggered me that I had to allow myself to heal from, let go of. And it was just these things. This is how you know. It's like when we started going through the pandemic and stuff like that, you know how they shut everything down. You had to be around your family. You had to be around your loved ones, your ace, boon, coons, you know, your boo. You know, all these different things, and it's showing you, is this the person you want to be with for the rest of your life? Now when you have to spend 24/7 with them, you know, I feel sorry for everybody who had little kids. You know, they were working their nerve like, man, if y'all hurry up and open these damn schools up, these kids gonna break my nerve. And it'll be like, I was like, I don't even, I'm just so glad when they had a pandemic when all my kids are grown. It was like my youngest one just turned 22. Was it on the 26th? And it was just like seeing all that different stuff, but it really showed you, is this how you want your life? This is, you know, you have to be able to interact with your children. You have to be able to interact, because there's a lot of times we can be really dealing with some household stuff and we take it to work, or we go to work and we try to get so deep, you know, so swamped in our work that we you know, there are certain things that we clearly need to, you know, focus on, to heal, let go of, trying to understand why it happened, come to terms with it, that we ignore it when we go to work. You know, or there'll be a lot of times you take work home with you where you know you can't stay in your job. It'll be different times. When I told people I used to have to smoke weed to go to my job, and that was a clear thing that I had to say, if you got to do all that, because I know people that used to be on the book of sugar that worked in certain places with me, or the ones that had to sit up here and drink on the job. When you got to do all that, that is not for you. If you have to use some kind of, you know, coping mechanism, or, you know, you trying to self-medicate, that's something that's not for you. And I tell people, you got it to this point where you dealing with everybody, always pinpointing about what they doing, or, you know, trying to bring up some stuff they do it and they try to blame it on you, or you be the one that's always hardworking. And they say, you know, when you take a break, all of a sudden, oh, you being lazy. I'm like, these folks don't even do work. And you want to talk about me only one day that I felt like being lazy. Now you want to start paying attention to me. You don't be paying attention to me, all this hard work I'm doing. Now you want to say something. You know, you dealing with stuff like that. You know, you dealing with where they're letting you know your opponents and know them well. You know your opponents and know them well. You know, because these are going to be the things. This is going to be your main thing. It's like everybody is a part of your book of growth, of healing, of being able to see how powerful you really are. You know, there's a part of you that was waiting for you to discover this person, and these are the ways you found it, through a lot of your enemies, you know, through all these things. Because a lot of times, you know, why does that person act like that to me? I didn't give them a reason to. Just because you're you. Yeah, I've had different people that hate me for no apparent reason, never did nothing to them at all, and you make me feel like I done took out your whole daggone bloodline, the way you treat me. I'm like, I don't even know you, and you already hate me, and it'll be okay. That'll be okay, and it's just your vibe. It irritates the heck out of people. And I mean, that was just like, shoot, that sounds like a personal problem to me. And, you know, I can't help how I am, you know. But I love creating better for myself, you know. And if that, you know, like breathe in, breathe out. That's all you can pretty much do. I don't really care if you don't like me. It's like I'll break water before I can sit up here and worry about why you don't like me. It is what it is. You know, it'll be a lot of different things that I can't digest what somebody's feeding. I'm like, okay, I can just push that plate off. I ain't got to eat that and go on about my life and still be focused on me and still, you know, hey, wish them well, whatever, you know, and just keep on moving. But it's just, the fact is, when you're on your book of life, of where you're trying to go, what you're trying to build on, there's always going to be some kind of resistance. There's always going to be a challenge. There's always going to be something that's going to trigger you. And these are all about the line of growth of healing. You know, you're showing people, you know, it's like right now, when you're healing, you're showing your enemies, no matter what you do, I'ma still be me. I'ma still be greater. You know, I'ma still keep moving. There ain't nothing you can do that's going to stop me. And I'ma still be in my truth. You know, and you help me do that. You know, and it's just like at times you have to understand, when you have so many people that are on you like that, you are doing something right. You are doing something very right. And they don't want that. They're doing everything they possibly can. This is the reason why God brought them into your life. You know, and there'll be some very hurtful stuff like, you really said I could do this, and why the heck you bringing all these daggone folks into my life to bring me down? Because I needed you to recognize who you are. They recognize who you are, and they trying to hope that you don't find it. You know, there'll be a lot of people who'll do that. You'll have people in your life that really sees that potential in you, that sees the light in you, and they're like, dang, that man, look. All you got to do is step forward, and that'll be you opening the Pandora's box of truth, baby. There's a lot of times they're like, shh, It'll be like that Candyman thing. Don't say that. Don't say that word. Don't say truth. Don't move forward. Don't be authentic. Don't be transparent. And you're doing all those things. You are showing it. It's just like you working smarter. You ain't working harder. People will feel like when they know they can't, there'll be so many different obstacles they placing in you, and they get frustrated because they have to keep always regrouping. And you know, and it gets to that point where it may catch you off guard, but then you're like, oh, okay, you projecting again. Oh, okay, you're trying to block some different things. Oh, okay, you're trying to do those little spiritual warfare. You're trying to put some Santeria on me, or you're trying to put some voodoo on me. Okay, all right. And it's still helping me grow. It's still helping me get to that next pinnacle, or it, you know, it surpassed whatever goal I had and took me to the next level. And you helped me do that. You know, so you're doing that where you're studying. You're like your opponents and your enemies are studying you. You're studying them because it seems like there's something about you that just irritates the mess out of their soul because they don't want to change. They don't want to acknowledge. They don't want to do anything except bring you down. You know, and I always say, it's much, you know what, and it'll be people that are really going against me, and I see the potential in them. Like, if you can move like this in negative ways, you just think how you can move like this in positive ways, where this can really take you. But your focus is on the wrong thing. You know, I'm focused on me. You focused on me, but this is at that time where you need to be focused on you. Because it's like, you know, like, shoot, if you can see what I can see, you be changing course right about now. But I'm like, hey, it is what it is. So I'm still going to stay focused on me. You know, I see what's coming. You know, and it'll be like, I see what's coming. But, you know, if you want to keep ignoring that, hey, that's all day. That's you being you. But it's not going to stop me. You know, I'm at where I'm at because I didn't give up. I'm at where I'm at because I kept moving forward. There'll be different days, you know, I'm going to take a break or whatever when they say, hey, you need the solitude. It ain't even about me being frustrated or whatever like that, but it's like when you need to pull back your energy because there's so many different things that you're getting downloads. You're getting deeper understanding. It's like you're peeling back layers of you that you needed to acknowledge. You know, they have to king you. Because you don't sit up here and hit all these different spots. You know, I used to play checkers. I used to love playing that. But it's like when you're looking strategically at your board. And you're seeing everything that they're missing because they're so focused on you. And they don't see all the little spots. They don't left all that open. All that open. I'm like, okay. And just be doing that. Like, king me. Queen me. And don't even notice that. They don't realize they're leaving all that open because they're only focused on one subject. And that's you. One subject, and that's you. And it's like the more you heal, the more sensitive you get. The more sensitive you get, more energy that you see that's not right for you. And now it's like, now you being heavy in your your intuition, your gut. You know, that's a silent alarm, and people hate that because they'll be the first thing when you call them out on their stuff. You already know anybody that want to do some little raggedy mess to you or some negative stuff, they'll be all, oh, you crazy, you this and you that. I hear that a lot of time. I said that's exactly what the last person said, and then they end up telling on themselves. You using the same. Don't be apprentice to somebody's about to fall deep in some mess, and you about to fall right on with them. That's not something you need to be apprentice for. You know, don't be, you know, don't be doing that. But you know. Hey, you can't convince somebody. You can lead them to the water. You can't force them to drink. And is what it is. You know, and I noticed that it's like when you start stepping in your power and you can tell somebody, hey, you know, when you step in your power, I used to be that person like, I'm not going to say nothing. I told y'all too. There'll be different things. It's like when I know I'm happy or, you know, I'm trying to see everything and you know, not being, you know, sad and depressed. Because it's like when I walked around here sad, depressed, not doing videos, just sitting in bed, crying and stuff like that. Oh, that was good for the enemies. Like, oh my God, you know, well, whatever we're doing is taken. You know, and it'd be different times. I'm gonna sit up here and cry. And I'm like, I'm tired. And they be getting on the phone, man, check this out. That motherfucker's all up in here crying. Man, we getting it. We about to get her down. We about to take her down. And it'll be like that. I'm like, no, baby, I have moments like that. Something that you don't do. You want to play victim. Okay, you want to do that. Me, I'm telling you this. The fact is, I'm going through these emotions, and what I'm allowing myself to face is what they run away from. Whatever is getting me to where the point is, I want to project towards people different things that I want to place harm on people that ain't even the one who placed me in harm's way. You know, I'm putting my personal stuff on every person that comes my way. And it's like, I don't need to be projecting stuff like that. I was in a vulnerable moment, yes, and I'm right back, stronger than ever. And I'm okay, because I tell people, even the strongest people got weak moments. Anybody who don't cry, anybody who holds in their emotions is weak, because they feel like you showing your emotions is weak, and no, it's not. That's your biggest strength, because you're trying to say, I'm not perfect. You dealing with people that are in that, what is it, when they're narcissistic, sociopath, psychopath, sadistic type people, you know, whatever like that. They don't like choosing emotion unless it's going to be something that's going to make people feel sorry for them or bring them some kind of attention. That's when they'll do it. But when they see that this is, you know, you moving in yours, and they want to laugh at you when you down and all that junk, you know, I don't get off on seeing people hurt. You know, there'll be different times where I've seen people cut me left and right, and I handed any kind of harm they can to me, and I see them smack back at them. God, like, you laughing? Heck no. You laughing? Even though even if I wanted to, it's like, that's what your ass get. And the way you were doing me, that mess need to be 10 million times worse if it really wanted to hit you like that, you know. Or be a situation like that, but it'd be just like, nah, I don't laugh at nobody's karma. You know, you ain't even got to wish nothing on nobody. Anytime somebody move like that with you, you know, your opponents move like that with you, it's eventually going to catch up to them. You ain't got to wish no revenge on them. People are already living through pain. You can't add pain to a person that's already projecting their pain towards other people. You know, you look at that person, and as soon as I said that, my nose started itching, so it's telling the truth. Thank you, God, for that gift. You know, it shows me this is not what I want to be. You know, when you have people in your life that's going totally, I mean, they're like a train wreck that you're seeing destroying their own self, and that's showing you this is what happens when you don't want to heal. This is where it happens when you blame everybody else for your bad choices except yourself. You know, and this is who you are when you don't want to take accountability for your own part of your adding on your suffering. This is what happens. You destroying your own life because you want to point all fingers at everybody else's. Where you know, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, but you made a choice to be that way. You know, it'll be, you know, if you can add, say, yeah, you know, I did that, because I'll be that type. When I talked about my, you know, my toxic ex and my karmic, you know, connection with that, I had to be able to admit I had my toxic ways. I've been triggering. You know, I'll be that person. Yeah, I did it. Now what? I'll be that one that does that. I don't be playing like, oh, you know, it wasn't me. It would be that shaggy thing. It wasn't me. Even though you seeing it, I'm like, boy, I'm looking right at you. It wasn't me. It be those things. I'm like, nah, you know what I did? And I hit right below the belt. Oh yeah, I did that. And your friend liked it too. You know, be one of some, you know, some real ghetto stuff like that. And I'll be like that. And it was just like, dang, you know you were messed up for that. But yeah, I loved it though. Just because the fact that you kept hurting me. And it'll be that tit for tat. Now I'm just like, being me and being unapologetically me. And I keep using that word. You know, being transparent, being real, that'll trigger somebody who's just living all through illusions, is living through the matrix, living on lies or whatever. I'd rather work smarter than harder, because it's like all the stuff that you're doing, it's like anytime, you know, you're going through these glow ups, you're going through changes, you're going through different things where you know if you didn't go through those moments, you really wouldn't know, you know, how powerful it is. And like I was saying, it's always trying to tell me, when you got a lot of people that's trying to stand in that resistance of you and trying to always add challenges towards your life to try to make things harder for you, you know, this is showing you're on to something very powerful. You know, you're on to something to where your dreams are going to connect with you in ways that you never seen going. And it's like you had to have those type of people in your life. It's just like if you're going through something, you were in a toxic relationship, you know, you had to see, there was a lot of times we had habits of connecting red flags. Hey, I've been here. You know, now it's at that point where you show one red flag to me. That was one enough. That was one too daggone many. Oh, you done showed me. Okay, gotta go. And be out that. Or I'll put myself out there and I really don't, you know, it's something that's telling me, you know, you need to leave this person alone, and I'll put something out there just to see if it's going to respond back to me, and it'll be oh, okay, well, okay, I was reading, you know, my intuitive, that means that I need to leave that person alone and say, hey, it's fun while it lasts, and get on with my life. It'll be different times where it's like, I'm not entertaining this, I'm moving on with my life, I'm moving on, you know, different things where I can see it's like it's bringing a bone, so it's trying to carry something back, or, you know, be certain things that people are hoping I say so they can have a way to block something, you know, being able to tell somebody what steps I'm going to make before I take it, so you already know what to block before it gets there. I've learned from all those different things, and I appreciate it. That's the reason why we go through all these moments in our life. And I always tell you, never be regretful of the people you meet. you know, what kind of pain they done caused in your life, you know, what kind of way that they deceive you. Because it's like, people, these are the lessons that we have to have through all these type of things. You're gonna go through good experiences with people, and it's gonna make you laugh, but let you believe in there's actually humanity out here, you know. But there's also gonna be people that's just like, now I see why. There'll be certain people like, you ever dated somebody or been around somebody you would have had no problem with feeding to the hungry tigers, feeding to the wolves. There are a lot of people that you would do that to. But then it's just like, appreciate what they showed you. So when somebody else come at you like that, and you know you done healed from that, moved on, and made peace with it, and all of a sudden that person brings up that vibe that you already know you done made peace with, they're showing you, man, I'm glad I went through that. Now it's like, when this person is trying to do that, now I already know I'm going to end this whole situation before it begins. These are the reason why we're going through this. You playing chess. You really playing that. And you are outsmarting all your opponents. There'll be new things. They'll be probably keep doing the same thing where they feel like, okay, this is working. And they'll be at that point where they done it so much, it's like it don't even take effect on you anymore. But then you'll appreciate it because you're showing you, you know, there are certain situations with people they bring to you, and it'll reflect something. Even it'll reflect something that you actually held, because there'll be a lot of things that I was drawn to with other people that were very toxic. That was very, you know, detrimental, you know, destroying your vibration in every way possible. Because I used to do things, and I'll always be heavy and self-medicating, you know, with opiates and drinking and all that stuff, partying like a rock star all the time. And it got to that point where it has to be more to life than that. You know, I want to be able to grow. I want to be in a good environment. You know, I don't want to be around people that are going to constantly challenge me and try to belittle me and always make me second guess myself. And it had to be at that point where I had to make really hard decisions. There are going to be a lot of times you're going to have to cut the cord on a lot of things that you felt like you weren't going to be able to live without. You have to understand, you were born in this world by yourself, and sometimes you're going to be leaving this world by yourself, you know. And be different things where you can't be so attached to materialistic things, because it's like when you die, those things got to be left here, you know. And all the different things that, you know, taking challenge on your life and all these different things is where, you know, there are some people that are okay with being, you know, you can get to a certain pinnacle and be like, man, life is good, living good, I got a lot of money in the bank when I got to worry about it, I don't want to do nothing else. Okay, but be just you are not one of those people who are, oh, you are here to just to be. No, you going, every time you get somewhere else, it's gonna make you hungry for something else. And it's not like, you know, you want to create better, you want to be able to do better. You know, there's a lot of people that get up into that point where they make a lot of money, and they'll be at that point where, you know, if God blessed you with that, now it's time for you to pay it and play it forward. You know, there's a lot of people out here where, you know, you want to have a soup kitchen or something like that. You want to, you know, different, you know, holidays where people get really down in the dumps because they don't have family. There's a lot of people that are out here homeless, and they say, you know, you got a lot of money, and say, you know what, I want to make one of these places where, you know, even with people with low income, you know, I want to be able to help them have, you know, supplies for their kids for school, give them different vouchers that they have that can last them for like 3 to 6 months to get them on their feet, so they don't have to worry about where this money's coming from. Or, you know, give out, you know, Thanksgiving baskets and stuff like that, you know, give them cornbread mix, give them juice, you know, give them turkey, chicken, ham, you know, all this different stuff because they couldn't afford it this year. Or you give them somewhere you actually cooking some at the side, where there's a lot of people that are down in the dumps because they're homeless, and they're just like, dang, I don't have no you know, family to go to. And it would be different things like that you're, you know, you knew what it felt like to worry about where's your, you know, you rubbing 2 pennies together and trying to make $1, you know, or you trying to figure out where your next money is coming from, you know, all those different things. And these are the times where you're gonna appreciate those hard times you went through, because it taught you a lot. It made you move different, made you see people different. You know, being able to allow yourself to know even things that went against you, where people just want to be straight hateful for you, you allowed yourself to say, I cannot take that personal. It's hard for us to be able to do that now. Because you'd be like, wait a minute, if you really know me like you know, you wouldn't be stepping up on me like that. If you really knew how my power works within myself, you wouldn't be doing me like that. But now, see, you show every time a negative energy comes towards you, you can be able to manipulate that energy and project it as positive. Or you can be able to do that because you don't know how many people you are living rent-free in their head by doing positive things. You are living rent-free in somebody's head where they wake up trying to figure out how they're going to piss you off today. You got people like that, and they're giving you all their power. And as soon as I said that, Look at what happened. Confidential. Confidential confirmation. Oh fuck, you hear ding. It'll be like that. You're living rent free in a lot of people's head and don't realize they're giving their power away to you. And you be like, you can be able to use that and transmute that and push out something positive. So it's just the fact is, you playing chess, not checkers. They have no other option. Because when you moving like you moving, and there'll be some ways they'll be like, where even people, you know, even people that don't like you gonna ask, man, how did you do that? You know, how did you do that? Because it was just like, man, you don't went through so much, and we don't see you come back every single time. You be gone, and it's just like when you start moving and you don't tell people what you do, it makes your enemies very nervous because they don't know what you're doing. They're curious about you. If you even watch any kind of tarot readings, you hear that when they throw you to the wolves, you come back leading the pack, or there are people using divination on you, people using spy spirits and stuff around you, trying to figure out what you're doing. You know, and you being blocked every single time, you know, and those different things. They're curious about you because you're not telling the left hand what the right hand's doing, but you have studied so much from the game that you're playing that you're eventually winning. So I hope you are able to resonate with the content of that, y'all. I'll talk to you in my next one. Much love. Peace.